right, week 2. Okay, so now Love is Blind. We're still loving it. I'm still digging this whole experiment. So now let's talk about the couples. They are off the island and they're going home to meet the family. So Lauren and Cameron, still the star couple. Now we get to see what's happening when reality is hitting. And I'm going to have to say this. I love Lauren's mother. She was so sweet. And when he was talking to her, and I love how Cameron is so intense. I really believe, first of all, you can tell Cameron is the type of guy that just loves love, and when he loves fast and he loves hard. So good thing, bad thing, but I think it's a good thing. And he's very intentional with his words, and he's very intense with his eyes. He's a calm person, but when he connects with people, even how he hugged her mother, he got really close. He's always real close to her when he talks, which I know people are kind of like, that might be annoying, but I actually like intimacy. He's intimate even when he's just speaking to people, and he looks them right in the eye. And I love how he looked his mother in the eye, and he just like, ask me anything. I love your daughter. I think she is gorgeous. And the mom is like, giddy, and she's kind of melting. She's like, okay. She know what to ask. Because the mother's just like, she's in love too. I mean, I feel like the mother fell in love too. She kind of was like, oh, I love, and so I thought it was really cute, her hearing the mom. But I feel like Lauren is a little bit embarrassed that she fell in love with the white guy. Do y'all think so? I don't know. I get that she loves him, and now she's like, she feels like her clothes, she's been exposed, like, you know what I mean? Like with her friends. And you know what? Just like we see with Jess later on with her friends, like it's more in her head than everyone else. You know what I'm saying? Like she's worried about what her friends are going to say, what her parents are going to say, what people are going to say. She's worried about her voice and the still being in the black community, when it's just like, girl, nobody else is really that worried. We understand your point of view, but at the end of the day, you just fell in love with a man. And so I hope those fears start going away. And then also, we see Lauren becoming a little more fearful. I mean, he takes her to this beautiful home that is his own. First of all, he really seemed to love her place and enjoy her place. I thought her place was really cute, which is all you need when you're a young, independent woman and you're a content creator. I thought her place was really nice. It was really well kept. It was a reflection of her. I don't think it was embarrassing. It looks like it shows that she was happy in her world. She was happy doing life the way she had been doing it. And she was happy, she was content, but that she just wanted a partner. I like that about, as it pertains to Lauren. I might need to do a whole separate video on Lauren and Cameron, because I really think their relationship is a perfect case study for what this experiment was about. Because it's literally two separate people with coming and joining worlds. But anyway, just how when he took her to her home, I don't know if she felt intimidated, because she was just like, wow, your house is big, and I don't know if it was her trying to, and then she was kind of like, well, you show me around, it's your house, but he's kind of like, no, this is our house, like, it's going to be our home, it's yours, you walk around. And he was just like, he's so ready. He's like, I think Cameron literally had that whole home and was walking around. His family's from Maine, I assume, because that's where he said he's from. He has this big home. He's probably like, I'm a successful scientist. I have a whole lot of love in me to give. I have a big home a big house that I want to make a home, and I want to fill it with children. And I love how when she mentioned, like, we have plenty of room for babies or something like that, and he kind of was like, oh my God, I was thinking an office, but I'll take it. I want to get her pregnant. I want her to have my babies. Like, she says it all the time. He says all the right things. And so I hope that she doesn't begin to self-sabotage, because that's what we often do. We get in our heads. And Carrie Bradshaw from Sex and the City, how she wanted to keep her independence but be a couple and didn't want to lose who she was. And I understand that, especially for women of a certain age. She's in her 30s. I think she's like 32, which is still young. And she likes being an independent woman, and so it is, even much as you want to be a couple, I can understand it being a hard transition to make, because you feel like you're giving up everything and you're just coming into his world. And sometimes it can kind of feel like, well, what are you getting from me? But I think people tend to devalue yourself, what you bring to the table. It's not just money, but she's filling voids in his life. And though I'm not saying that he's not filling any voids in her life, because it looks to me like she was happy with whatever car she was driving. She was happy with her little apartment in her own little world. And he comes with probably a better car, a better home, and another side of town or whatever. It seems like she was still happy in that world. But it seems like he had everything financially more than her, maybe, but he was missing her. And he was missing what she brought. So what she'll bring to him, which is a sense of support and family, and you're not coming home to an empty house, and you got somebody in this thing with you, a lover, a partner, a friend, intimacy, respect to him. I love the way she looks up at him. I know a little bit I feel like she's afraid to hurt his feelings because he's such a nice guy, but she needs to just tell him what her problem is. I don't agree with her keeping her apartment, but I can understand her wanting to have a slow transition and not just giving up everything, because so much of people, their things is their identity. It would be cool if they could just find their own place, but it really looks like his house is just a house. Looks like she can come in there and put her spin in it. And I also like about them, I don't want to spend too much time on them because I could just make a whole video about Lauren and Cameron, to be quite honest, because the other couples, she can make his house a home. Anyway, let me stop. So I thought that was really good. I liked the when she was really worried about meeting the dad, and although the dad was very honest, and this show seems real, I like that the dad was very honest with him. But because Cameron is a calm person, and that's why I say in the last video, the yin to the yang, you can't have two powerhouses together. They butt heads, as we see happening with Gianna and Damien. You need that cooler head, and Cameron talked so smooth and calm to that man, and he was open, and he looked him in the eye the same way he looked at the mama, and he leaned in, and he was just like, I love her. Yeah, I get it. I've dated black women before. And he's very clear, and it seems like they're both very clear about the challenges, and that's what I like. They have really good communication with each other. I do want Lauren to let go of some of that fear. You have to drop it at the table, because at the end of the day, moving him and don't work out, honey, you'll find a new apartment. It's okay. He has a big, huge house. You can make a filming room. Like, listen, I made a whole beauty room in my house. This is my space where I go for my own sanity. I put everything on the walls that I love and I enjoy. This is just a reflection of me. So you can do that in a marriage. I've talked way too long about them. Amber and Brenton, is that how you say his name? You get a little more deeper. I didn't like his family. I really didn't like his family. But I think they're coming from a place of concern. I love his love and respect for his family, which I think, if we could find out more about that, we'd see why he wants to get married so bad. I think he wants to create his own version of family and home, because maybe he seems nervous and anxious around his family, which you shouldn't really feel. You should want your family's approval, but you really shouldn't feel anxious and nervous around your family, and it seems that's the way he is. And even his brother talking to him, I understand you want to tell them the seriousness of marriage, but honey, it's a leap of faith. If they dated 2 or 3 years, it's a leap of faith, and I'm sure his brother's marriage is not perfect, because no marriage is. Amber sometimes she's too silly, and I'm not a fan of her personality that much, but I do appreciate that she's always her authentic self, and she's real and honest with Brenton all the time about how she feels and who she is. Even when they were talking about the wedding and the money and the finances, she should have told him up front that, I really, my goal is to be a house. That was always what I wanted to be, was a homemaker. And so that's the roles that me and my husband played. Now, through the years, I did event planning. I owned a bridal shop. I always were able to do things that I wanted to do, but my husband has always been the provider. Now my kids are grown and in college and training to be in the fire department and stuff like that, and I'm still a homemaker. I'm able to do whatever it is I want to do. My husband is a provider, because that's what we agreed on going in. But it doesn't take away, people are like, well, what are you bringing to the table? Well, Amber is bringing her, and she's bringing loving him and creating a home and being his plus one and being the mother of his children and probably being the primary caretaker of the children, and she's feeling a void that he was looking for emotionally. He seemed financially stable. I don't think he was going out there looking for someone to partner in him in finance, but maybe if he starts a business, he's going to look for somebody to help me with the upstarting of my business or whatever they decide to build together. So I don't want to discredit. People are like, she just want him for his money, and I don't think so. She's very clear on what she wants, and he can say, I don't want a housewife. I want someone that's going to financially have input and help move us to the next place. Or he can say, that's fine, because I want a wife. I want someone home when I come home. I want a lover. I want a friend. I want someone to help me start rebuilding a family union and give me unconditional acceptance and love with all of my quirks and flaws. And I don't have to feel so buttoned up and not be able to really show who I am to family, because I really feel like Britton's that way with his family. I don't think he shows them who he really is. He doesn't seem that comfortable. I think he loves his family, but I think he's nervous around his family. You know what I mean? And we all want to impress our families in one way. Kenny and Kelly, vanilla ice cream scoops. Their parents, I love to hear their parents' love stories, and they're in action more than Kenny and Kelly. And my thing is, at this point, Kelly needs to give Kenny something. And she never had orgasms, and then I'm not getting passion. I'm not getting anything, and I feel so bad for Kenny. He's trying so hard to be patient, and I don't think Kelly's being honest. She got more hot and bothered talking about Cameron. You remember her when she was like, "Ooh, he's fine, he's hot," and all that stuff. She wasn't that way with Kenny, and she need to be honest with him. Because somebody else could have had this spot, because she's not being serious. Somebody she ain't never had an orgasm. Girl, I ain't got time. Gigi. She's so intense, her and him. Her mood swings, child. I love her. I mean, it was disappointing that his family didn't want to be a part, but everybody don't want to be a part of it. So she'll meet them later, and she should have handled that a little better, a little more respect, because what was he supposed to do? And at the end of the day, his family's going to see that video. So you just showed your booty. I'm like, I don't get it. Let me see. Poor Matt, his roommate and them, I like how his roommate and them were kind of, joshing and telling her about him. I didn't like how Jessica was, brown on brown, girl. Stop it. I mean, she got a nice place. We see why she was acting like that, because, I mean, hell, she's a decade older than him, so she should be a little further along. You know what I'm saying? But Matt's still being a little puppy, just following behind her, taking whatever punches she give. Poor Matt. Near the end, she gets in the fight in the relationship with him, because it seems like Matt has been the only one in this relationship. I like Matt's family. I liked his mom. I like how his dad was reserved and just sat back and listened. And I like how everybody was showing Jessica, girl, like, you the only one that's hung up on this age. At this point, age ain't nothing but a number if y'all really love each other, which age is a big deal, but it's really not. We'll be fine. And if y'all get into it and you feel like age is a problem, it is what it is. Again, love is a risk, people. It's a risk. So Jessica irked my soul. I didn't agree with her meeting with Britton for a drink. I thought that was very distasteful. I thought that was rude. It was disrespectful to Amber, and it was disrespectful to Matt. Point blank and period. And she tried to flip the switch in the middle of it, and no, girl, we heard what we heard, and so did Britton. You were basically telling him that you regret being with Matt, and that you were wanting to see, did you regret too? Because that make you feel better. Well, at the end of the day, he just didn't choose you, Jessica. Press on. And somebody mentioned on another review that Jessica looked like she got older when she got out them pods, and her age, she did start looking her age when she got out them pods. But anywho, let me see. So when we end up getting to see Gigi and them go down the aisle, I think they're going to get married. I don't know. To me, the preview of the person running away looks like Gianna. So I don't know if Damien said no, but he seemed pretty, pretty passionate. And one thing I can say about Amber, to me, she goes up and down. She might have a little instability emotionally, but she does seem to be really invested. And I love how she talked to him about how politics did matter, because people love to skate over that. Politics matter. Now, you don't have to agree about every single thing. Me and my husband don't agree about every single thing politically, but your political view on the world matters, because that directly affects people in groups. So when people are so general, like, oh, it doesn't matter, it matters. And why should it matter who I voted for? I mean, you can vote for, because it matters, because certain people that you vote for directly affect other certain people. I ain't gonna get into that here. But I liked how she was like, no, 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 that matters. And this is why it matters. And it's so easy for us as Americans, or the privileged American, some of the privileged Americans, y'all know who the privileged Americans are, to sit back and be like, oh, it doesn't matter, because really a lot of politics don't affect them. And let's just be honest. But if you're a minority, and if you are a woman, if you are an immigrant, um, if you are the working poor or the poor, politics affect your day-to-day life. They really do. So it matters. So I'm glad that she said that. That was very mature of her. And I like how they always are able to come back with their passion. I like how he threw her on that bed during that argument. And I also like that she likes to get to the heart and be like, no, let's talk about it. She doesn't throw off on tantrums. She really, really talks about it. And heck, they're just a beautiful couple. She's a beautiful girl. She kind of reminds me of Kate Hudson. Do y'all get that from her? I don't know. All right, this video is becoming way too long. But I'm gonna end it here, and we'll make another one.